You, wake up. I know you're still alive, so let me get a good look at you. No, don't look at the bodies. I didn't say do that, did I? Calm down and look at me. I need to see your eyes. Still human. No, that could only be temporary. Damn it. What were you doing here? You're a human in a nest of vampires. What are you, some kind of thrall? A slave to one of these creatures? Oh, you don't have to worry about the vampires anymore. Believe me, they're gone. Now answer the question. A victim? Well, that would explain the amount of blood on you. Yes, I've noticed you're bleeding. Believe me, I'm trying very hard not to. Why don't you help me in that area? Distract me. Tell me how you got here. And depending on your story, I'll let you go. Oh, I know you don't belong here. From the way you're panicking, I don't think this is where you expected to wake up, is it? Let me guess. You were out for a walk, maybe. Maybe getting a few drinks, probably at a bar. Then someone came along. Someone seductive that you just couldn't take your eyes off. They started talking to you, brought you along. You probably thought you were going to have a bit of fun. But it didn't turn out that way, did it? Did they lead you to this building? Or did you just wake up here? Ignored the warning signs then. You should be more careful in the future. I bet you looked surprised when your partner introduced you to their friends. If I know vampires, they'd have started tearing into you like a takeout. No way they wouldn't have started cutting you and feeding on you as soon as they entered the premises. Just like all these other dead folk you're lying on top of. Oh, they're dead. Believe me, not a single one of their hearts is still beating. Which naturally begs the question, why is yours? Maybe I got here just in the nick of time. Certainly a possibility. But vampire wounds aren't like regular wounds. Any hunter will tell you that they're particularly lethal, and it's very unlikely someone such as yourself would survive even the mildest of injuries by them. It's not an insult by any means. In my centuries of hunting these creatures, I've found less than a handful of people that have actually survived their feedings, at least without turning, though I doubt that could be considered surviving. Yes, I said centuries, but I'm the one asking questions here, not you. There's something about you, something I can't quite put my finger on. You're covered in bruises, cuts, and bite marks. Yes, I noticed them. It's hard not to. By all rights, you should be dead or turned, in which case I'd have to finish you off. But you're not. You're still alive. Your heart is still beating normally. And besides your panic at the scene when you awoke, you're otherwise fine, no worse for wear. A bit of a cleanup and you'll be good as new, right as rain. So, how the hell does that work? What is it about you I'm sensing? This strange power coming from you. Is there something you're not telling me, perhaps? Or maybe you're just unaware, ignorant of what you are. Let's test that. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? No. Your heart's still beating normally, so you're not lying. Yes, I can hear your heartbeat. I'd be able to hear the others in the room as well if they were still alive. That's how I knew you were telling the truth when you said you were just a victim of these creatures. How I knew I didn't have to kill you. At least for the moment. I'm not joking about that either. I'm still waiting for you to turn, expecting it even. The second I see a flash of red in your eyes, you're dust, my friend. Ah, you finally noticed it. Yes, my eyes are red too. The same red I'm looking for in yours. Normally I cover them up by wearing contacts or sunglasses, but never when I'm hunting. When I prowl the streets looking for bloodsuckers, I want them to see my eyes. I want them to know it was one of their own that killed them. You may have noticed I mentioned I'd be hunting them for centuries earlier. That's because I'm a vampire, friend. At least technically, on a biological level. They call me Vampiro care vanaza vampiri. Pardon my terrible pronunciation, but that's Romanian for the vampire that hunts vampires. Yes, that's what they call me, because that's what I am. That's how I wound up in this delightful little den of evil. I'd heard of this group abducting people and decided to put a stop to it. It's just an instinct at this point, something I have to do. Once, a very long time ago, I was human, a vampire hunter, part of a larger group, the team. We did what I do now, stalk the streets, fighting creatures of the night and protecting the innocent. But we were all human, fighting the undead. It was a hard life, but a good one. I went to bed happy knowing I was doing the right thing, saving lives and killing monsters. Sure, we had our close calls, our tough scrapes, but I wouldn't have traded that life for anything. Until it ended. We made the mistake of tracking down an elder vampire that was passing through town. Some kind of vampire priest. An ancient being that's fed on thousands and lived for centuries. Very powerful creatures, almost godlike. There's something about the blood they feed upon. It makes them much stronger. And if they eat enough, their powers increase. Most hunters never see one in their lifetimes. There was no way we could pass up an opportunity to kill one. I was the one who planned it out. So it was my plan that got them killed. We called in every favor we had, calculated the Elder's travel route and schedule for the exact second, and the bastards still tore through us like we were nothing. 6 experienced vampire hunters went into that Elder's home, and only one left. Though in a way I really didn't. There's only 2 things I remember from that night. The screams of my friends being ripped apart, and the feeling of vampire fangs tearing into my neck. I'm still not sure what happened, how I escaped, but I remember waking up passed out, bloody in an alleyway. Part of my arm was sticking out of the shadows, burning in the sun. I still have the scars, see? It felt awful. Another second, and I wouldn't have been speaking to you here now. I knew right away what I was, what had happened, what had been done to me. I could feel it in my throat, the thirst, the desire for human blood, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't feed upon the innocent like the monster that turned me. I knew I was the thing I had sworn to destroy, and that I was betraying everything I'd stood for just by existing in that moment. Part of me wanted to step out into the sun, to let the holy rays of light shining down from the heavens eviscerate me and send me to the friends that had left me. But I couldn't. I was too afraid. And there was this thought that kept filling my head that I just couldn't shake. What if I die, and I go to hell because I'm a vampire? I didn't want to risk it, not without atoning in some way first. And here I am, 3 centuries later, trying to make up for that cowardice by continuing my duty, by killing the creatures of the night even though I am one. I never fed on anyone, even though the thirst in my throat still remains. When I get desperate, I drink animal blood, though it tastes disgusting. I don't think we're supposed to drink it, really. But I find if I just pretend it's human, it helps slightly. Some of the people I work with now manage to conjure up some kind of synthetic blood in the lab. It's not real, and it doesn't help much, really. Less than the animal blood. But if I'm ever desperate or need to focus, it can help calm me down. I still have no idea how I am, what I am, how I resisted the Elder's power and remained myself. But I'm still here, somehow. Still me. Still fighting. Though I don't dare to go up against the Elder we encountered. That creature is far too powerful. Besides, I've heard nothing about them in all this time. They just disappeared. I've spent my time just doing what I can, fighting the dregs of vampire society. The ones that lure in victims to feed on. The ones that turn into monsters once their fangs meet skin. I know it's not enough to make up for what happened, for what I am. But maybe someday it will be. But if I could just kill that Elder that killed my friends, I know I'd feel better. It'd be enough to finally remove the guilt I feel. I'm sorry for telling you all this, for providing you with so much information, but there is a reason for it. I'm trying to sway you to my cause, you see. Trying to make you sympathize, so that you'll come with me. Your blood, whatever you are, it could be a vital weapon against the vampires. I'm not sure exactly how it works, or how it could work, but there are people I work with, other hunters that can study you and figure out how exactly we can use you. How we can use your blood. Sorry, just for a moment I caught a whiff of your scent and it doesn't matter. Nothing matters except the mission. So, stand up, we're leaving. I'm getting you out of here and you're going to help me beat those monsters. For the first time, we have something new in our arsenal. Something that can get us the slightest glimmer of hope. And I'll be damned if we don't take it. You don't get a choice. I'm sorry, but you could be the thing that helps us win the blood war. That ends centuries of fighting and finally lets us beat those monsters. I've seen far too many friends die to risk losing this thing just because you don't want to. So, sorry about this. But you're coming with me. What's up, Wolfpack? It's Wolf0 back with another video. I really hope you enjoyed this script by GoldenProxy. They always manage to make such very interesting scripts. Proxy is they never really write summaries for their scripts, so I had no idea where this was going. As I was reading it, it felt a lot like Blade in a sense. At least for the most part, it felt very Blade-esque, if any of you know what Blade is. But not like it's a bad thing. I love Blade. I love vampires, so naturally I love this script. So, thank you again to GoldenProxy. And as always, please feel free to check out the link in the description down below and check out the ASMR RP Lounge server. The server is constantly active with so many talented VAs and fans that would very much welcome you with open arms. So if that feels like something you're interested in, please feel free to check it out for yourself. Now, with all that said, thank you all for making it this far into the audio, and I will catch you all in the next one. Later.